Hey everybody, how's it going? How you been? I know that there is a lot of people who don't exactly know what's going on with the new application, with the games, with how we're using blockchain data. So I figured I'm just going to show you really quick. Now, obviously, when you interact with a crypto or send one somewhere to a different wallet, that has a transaction signature. If I just take a transaction from here, this is one from a few days ago, from someone buying some Fed, you can see that there's this long string of letters and numbers, right? This is the hash. This is technically speaking, it's a hash. And it's not only SHA-256, it's actually using ED for Solana. So it's different. However, it's extremely random data, right? And the situation we're doing is, what if you take this random data and you utilize it? The most simple form of data on the blockchain. The average transaction is a very small couple kilobytes, very small transaction, very small amount of data, right? Obviously, there are some transactions that can be extremely huge if there's several things involved with that said transaction. That's why people use flash loans for things, but that's besides the point. With this transaction right here, it has a long string. Now, these are constantly made off of every transaction. Random data. What if we recycle this random data that the blockchain produces and gamify it? That's the thing. People just see this as random stuff, right? People just see it as blockchain garbage. It's just an identifier. If I want to look up the transaction, I can use this identifier here, L5ZZ, QMG, whatever. I can use that to see what happened in this transaction. But what if we use the transaction, the actual transaction signature? Okay. What if we use it to actually build purpose and applications on it? I just swapped views so you could see this is a transaction for Fed here. What if we could use it? What if we could recycle it? The most simple form of data on the blockchain, a transaction. What if we could recycle it and build on it? Find ways to use this random data and actually repurpose it and add structure. That's exactly what's going on. None of you really know what's going on because this is a very new thing. This is extremely new. And when it comes to the application that's going live tomorrow, so don't miss out. It's going to be live streamed on Kick and Twitch, YouTube, Rumble, I think even Instagram. I'm streaming it all over the place, okay? Don't miss out. 1 p.m. PST time zone. It's going to happen tomorrow, Saturday, November 30th. So when you send a transaction here, okay, my application right here is going to automatically detect it. It's going to put it in storage. And when this, for instance, 1 hour ends, it's going to utilize all the transaction signatures to find if there's numbers in them. And if one of those transactions has a number that matches a randomly generated number, it gets flagged as a winner, becomes the winner. It's really as easy as that. Now, when it comes to the dual game, that's a little bit different. Transaction is being used to almost determine damages. And then the two transactions or players will battle dependent upon the damage that is determined from the transaction signature. Okay? So it's a little different, but it is utilizing transaction signatures. And one key thing here is to remember, that's why I made this graph right here even. As you can see, the red line is what would be a program size, an estimated program size for, let's say, one cycle of a lottery. So when you see how many lotteries happened on November 23rd, which was me testing things, it accumulated to over 24 million megabytes. That's how much data basically would have been put onto the blockchain, right? And then when you compare that to transactions, each transaction that happened in that day, it was only 43 kilobytes actually, and that's it. 43 kilobytes in comparison. And I think that's a little jumbled up. The main reason why there's so much of the program size is because I was doing very small tests, so there weren't many transactions in between the lottery cycles, if you get what I mean. But no matter what, we're building off of transaction signatures themselves, because not only are they truly are random data, so we can repurpose them. We can build almost an infinite amount of things just to recycle the random data. But also, we are helping to decongest blockchains, especially long term. This up and coming bull run, a lot of things are going to be happening on several different blockchains. And for instance, when we start deploying the bots for deployable utilities across multiple blockchains for many, many projects, that's going to allow these projects to utilize the most minimal data impact while still utilizing blockchain data to operate full-scale applications and games. And that is just a little bit of the future that we're tapping in here. We have an infinite amount of possibility to build on random data. No one is doing this because no one has really, I don't think anyone's really thought of it. The reason why it came to me, just as a recap, the reason why it came to me is because a friend of mine had said, hey, what if we somehow, there's an Easter egg that happens within certain parameters of the blockchain. So if a certain block hits, or certain Satoshi, or what have you, if something happens, then there's an Easter egg event that could possibly reward a player or something. And I took that idea to the extreme and kind of made a concept of okay, well, there is random data in transaction signatures. So why don't we use them? Why don't we utilize them? The most simple form of data on the blockchain. Why can't we implement it, scale it, build on it, without having to create extreme contracts and programs and all this data? We don't need to put all this data on the blockchain. We can just use the most simple form of data on the blockchain and build an infinite amount of things from it. So that's exactly what's going on. And I think that's a good summary. It's a good summary. And I hope that cleared things up. I hope a few of you understood that. Make sure if you if you still have a question, just throw it in the comment section below. Go ahead and don't be afraid to ask any question you might have. I'm active way too much of the time. Especially lately, I've been putting a lot into building and building and building. There are critical website updates that are about to happen, and there's a lot of things that are yet to come. I'm still even trying to work out on the Telegram bots and Discord bots and implementing games into them, utilizing blockchain APIs And, there's a lot to roll out on that, a lot to build on that. And I do want to release the bots once they have at least like 3 or 4 games. Of course, any project that pays for entry, they're never going to have to pay again. That's kind of the plus side to it, is it's a lifetime membership. So as soon as some project decides they want to use our utilities with the Telegram bot or Discord bot, they'll be able to automatically have the new games added into the bot as they use it. So it's a lifetime membership. But thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful night, and don't forget about the live stream tomorrow, because it's definitely going to be an event, and that's how all of this is going to mainly be, is a giant spectator event. And the only way you can interact with this is if you send transactions. That's the biggest thing. Also, the Telegram voice chat will be open and monitored while the live stream is happening. So some of you will be able to come in and join the voice chat and be a part of the stream. But yeah, don't miss out. Have a good night. Have a good day if it's daytime where you are. And we'll talk soon. Thank you, everyone.